I keep forgetting to clear my excesses in my storage before I start my new videos. So, what I was saying. And they're telling me to lighten it up. Lighten it up, Jeff. Come on. It's serious. You know, it's serious, but we're already there. We're already in the light. We're already in the, full out ascension. We're already in the 5D. For the most part, we're just being bridges for helping everybody get here and helping lower the fear levels of the planet. And for the last remaining, challenges or dynamics or games or just, basically it's a cleanup. Spirit told me a year ago. Now is the cleanup phase. Now's the cleanup. Now it's time for the cleanup. So this is all part of the cleanup. So we're cleaning up, When I say I battle the devil, it's everything that is ungodly in you. It's anything of the ego. It's anything of the selfishness. It's anything of the self-centeredness, materialism. It's anything of the lower chakras that keep you tied. Or attempts to disturb your peace. Anything that you have drive or unhealthy drive for, even overeating if you're nervous, or of course the party and the drinking and without being hard on ourselves, we have to take a good inventory. We have to take a good look at what's going on with us, right? And the bottom line is, this is the way we've been taught. This is the way we've been programmed since birth to go for, be yourself. Go for what you want, They came out within the 60s, but from the shadow aspect was, do us as thou will. I mean, that's straight from, dark teachings, because it's all about being carnal and being selfish and being dominating of others and self-centered and egotistical and prideful competition, right? Rise above the others and climb up the ladder and step on whoever you got to, and being dishonest and wearing a false mask, being a false self. A lot of them out there. These people watch my videos. They wear false masks. Some of these people, they pretend to be something. They pretend to be light workers. They pretend to have these YouTube channels and Instagrams that are of light. I'm just a light worker. I'm just a light healer. But some of them are actually friggin' the complete opposite and narcissistic, but hide it with their masks. So you got to be careful. You got to use your discernment. You got to use your heart and your solar plexus. You got to use your intuition these days, and just avoid things. It doesn't, don't fill yourself with stuff. It's better to go into the void and get your own answers. It's better to go in the void and come out and do your own writings. Ask your own questions. Get your own answers. It's simple. Some people say, they always say meditation's boring, da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? It's a lifesaver. It's a life changer. It's connecting to the real you, the I am presence, the God consciousness, the Christ self. The soul, that which from where you've come, who you really are and who you're meant to be, your highest timeline, your highest destiny, your highest potential. All timelines, collapse into the highest timeline when you're in deep meditation, you're in the silence, the stillness, because you're going into the God consciousness void. the real, and all of our aspects that are multidimensional. You line up with all of them, and anything you need from all these realms of that are our own, but it's all interconnected with everyone, with everything, comes to us. Boom, more than ever. It's the simplest thing, you know. They say the ego screams and the God whispers. You know, don't we all want calmer waters? Don't you think it's a time for the still, quiet voice to guide our every step, every moment? You know? When you're driving down the road, and if you're in rage and ego and self-centeredness and head in the phone nonstop, you know, you're not very present. It's not as safe out there. But when you're alert, breathing, relaxed, enjoying yourself, being at peace, you really notice the trees, you notice the colors, you notice everything. Traffic doesn't bother you the same. You're just like, let's just flow along here, you know. You set up in the mornings, you set up a beautiful day that way, right? I send out waves of violet fire angels through all the roads I'm going to travel that day. All my coworkers, all the people I'm going to meet, all that, every moment of my time. My body, my mind, my spirit, my emotions are in the perfected health of body and mind. I am thoroughly abundant, prosperous, and I have exactly what I need, you know. I give my life to God. I give my life to my I am presence. There's a prayer, a decree. I am presence. I adore thee. I know you'll take care of my every need, my every earthly need. Thus, thine will be done, not mine. Thy will be done, not mine. Thy will be done, not mine. You can wake up in the morning with the sun, and you could say, there's an old runic Viking, that realm prayer. Oh, great sun, welcome, great sun, as you illuminate the earth, illuminate to my heart so I may do your work. And native cultures would, in the olden days, they would stand there and they would watch that sun come, and they would watch it as it hits the crown of the head, and it goes through every chakra, goes through the whole body all the way to the feet before they finish their meditation. Oh, great sun, central sun, power, greatest power, light in this physical world, which is a lens, a doorway, a camera, a portal for the great beings of the universe to come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Through me this day, I give my commitment. I give my soul to God. I released all these other needs, these materialistic needs. I sacrificed, you know, I don't need, just let go of the need for relationships and all this that goes with it. And, you know, I've been through the child rearing phase, but whatever it is, you know, you have family, you have everything. It's okay. Yeah, it's all part of it. I mean, we're all one with it, but it's making sure you have that connection going, you know, with your I am presence, and making those affirmations. I am the governing power of this body mind, and I am governs harmoniously. I am the perfected poise that governs all things, all aspects. I am the perfected poise that governs all aspects. I'm the perfected poise that governs all aspects, because without calmness and poise, they're essential ingredients to walking through these times, to walking with our higher self, coming forward. You know, the observer behind the camera, not in front of it. Observer, the witness. I am teachings. I am the presence thinking through this body-mind complex. One will surely perceive wonderful ideas to guide them through. Wrong ideas register first in the brain, where the most concentration of atomic energy is held. But the sole focus held upon the I am presence so releases the perfection which is within the electron at the center of the atom. The wrong ideas centered in the brain simply disappear. That's deep, but that's quantum science they're talking about. And this is Ascended Master teachings from, they came here 12,000 years ago. These affirmations are the ones they used to reach their ascensions, like Christ. Their teachers brought them to them. Their teachers learned them, were brought. I'm not going to tell you. It's a lineage. The wrong ideas centered in the brain simply disappear. Keep the mind off of all personalities, outer personalities, and know I am, God consciousness, is the only presence there. See everyone as God consciousness. See everyone as I am presence. I am presence is everywhere. It's in everyone. It's in everything. It will open doors so wide. Keep the mind off all personalities and know I am the only presence there. It would open doors so wide that could be poured out that would otherwise not be possible. Pour love and radiation to that person if you're having an issue with somebody with a personality issue. One cannot long interfere with the progress of another, for if the one obstructing does not release his hold upon the other who is slated to go higher, the obstructing one will be removed by his own action. If one remains strong and held steadfast to the light, personalities will be swept aside or harmoniously disconnected from the individual's world, such as narcissists, such as controllers and manipulators, dominators, or vampires, those that cord, those that, the old friend groups that you move out of, the old family that you still spinning around your head unhealed pieces. You empower it with the I am teachings, consciousness, violet fire, and like what I'm sharing here, and just do it every day and just let it go, morning and night. At this stage of growth, expansion in the light, it is important to know I am the God consciousness. I am the active channel of all distribution, all actions for my good. When the thought comes, this is all I have, nip it in the bud and say, I am the opulence of God in my hands today. This is the time to stamp it right out of your mind and feelings. As soon as that thought comes up, see, that's why you have to be so aware of yourself. As soon as you're that aware, you stamp it out. You catch it. Aha. No, I dismantle. No, I disconnect this. I discount that. Disregard. Or they say, cancel that. But you got to catch it, right? That's the time to stamp it out, right out of your mind and feeling. This must be held within a sacred silence within each individual. Take this as a sacred reverence, as a sacred reverent knowledge to be used. When you take from the I am self, it is impossible for you to take anything from any personality what rightfully belongs to that one. So if they're saying you or from someone else, if you're taking from the I am, you can't take, any other personality cannot take from you. You cannot take from them. You are decreeing for your world. So you cannot take from anyone without breaking your own law. I am the acting presence everywhere. God consciousness is the acting presence everywhere. There is no possibility of division in the I am presence. If you need money, say, I am the active presence I'm the active presence that is bringing this money into my hands to use instantly. However you want to interpret that, but start saying it and see what happens. You know, you may remember you got this money under the bed. You might remember that. You might, your bank account, I had a little more in there than I thought, or somebody pays you, they owed you. You know, anything, right? Get something into your Cash App. Or whatever. You get some overtime. I mean, it's all different ways to think about it, but it's going to come. It is so important to get away from the idea of money. It is but a means of exchange. Do not give it power. Put all your power back with God. And then when you command, no matter what it is you want, you have all the power instantly on hand to bring forth the fulfillment of your decree. These are from the Zen Master Saint Germain Discourses, which if you listen to all of his discourses from the 1930s, 7 hours long. It's all over YouTube. It's as relevant today as it was then because time doesn't exist. I mean, it's more important now than ever. You know, most of these teachings come through, they're 100 years too early. Some of these great metaphysical teachers like Joel Goldsmith and Neville Goddard and Emmett Fox and the Unity Consciousness, Infinite Way, and Florence Shin. Many, many great ones. And they were all coming from the Center Master Consciousness, I believe. It's too profound. You can say, I am the presence of perfect health. This is breath. This is the breath of God acting. These are so much more powerful than you realize. If you would write them down and practice them, oh my God, they're all over the internet. They're so freaking powerful. Once you get into the momentum of doing them, that's what they say. You got to do this for a while and build a momentum. It's been months for me. You build a momentum and you start to know and you start to see your life change and you start to say, oh my God, this is so real. This is so tangible. This is a consciousness level. It's like you've gone up an octave. You're in this other reality and you're manifesting like this and this and this and, you know, in every which way to make your life better, to make your loved ones' lives better, to make the world better, to see things happier, see things healthier. It's what you focus on, my friends. It's what you focus on. Saint Germain's famous statement is, whatever you meditate on, you become. And since light is from the beginning, light is the perfection and control of all things. Let there be light. So you know, right? And this world is full of darkness, and from ego to, the native people used to say the four tests of mankind: money, power, ego, and sex. And addiction, I put in there. And if you put anything in there that you have a challenge about, it's going to relate to one of those: money, power, ego, sex, and addiction. And those are the things that we want to bring the violet fire into. That's what we want to bring to get awareness. That's the shadow work, is looking at that. Getting out your pen and paper and taking a good list of, okay, where is my shadow? What do I have? My ego control, the lower aspects of money, power, ego, and sex. Sure, there's a positive side. Yeah, we know that. But I'm saying that when you need more, when you have fear about it, when you're lusting, when you're dominating power, when you're being mean to people, when you're out of balance with yourself, when you're out of balance with nature, when you're out of balance with your I am aspect, your God consciousness, right? And it's like, oh, well, we've always been told, it's all part of reality, and the movies and everything. That's the way we were raised. It's a matrix, guys. It's a matrix. That's the way it was. It's not good. Doesn't mean it's good. Just because we had to go through it, and it's all part of our world. Yeah, and we had to go through these stages. Yeah, and the ages and the changes from the 40s to 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Sure, true. I'm talking about now. Here and now. The quantum now. The universal now. Of living in your God consciousness. And bringing your God consciousness through with tools. And utilizing and creating and manifesting through decrees. Through the affirmations. To, asking for guidance, ask for visions, asking for more of your God consciousness to come through, your higher self to come into you and walk through your life. The I am presence is already here. It's right here in our heart. Well, they say it's up here. The most of it's up there in a conscious, in another aspect somehow. But when we go into centeredness, we call it in. It comes right in here into our heart, our high heart, threefold flame. You have to look it up if you want to know about it. I got videos about it. Love, wisdom, and power. Pink, gold, blue. It opens it up. It's an aspect, and these were secret teachings long ago of the Ascended Masters and the mystery schools, that when you call in this threefold flame, love, wisdom, power, it's pink, gold, blue, and you expand it, it ends up going 9 foot around you, and you meditate within that. You say, "O thou beloved threefold flame of eternal truth within my heart, expand and do your cosmic work." You become the I am presence consciousness. The God consciousness comes in and activates. So it's another tool. It's not just your heart. We all live in the heart and live by the heart. Get out of your mind. This is another tool, guys. It's really effective. It seems like esoteric. It seems out there. But you watch. In the next years to come, it's going to be commonplace. It just is. These are the teachings going forward for the next whole era of time. Ascended Master teachings on the earth through myriads of teachers. Watch, mark my words. Just because I know it. I'm going to read one more thing and I'll complete. All vibration in all things is the activity of God. All vibrations in all things is the activity of God. All pulsation is the breath of God. Every movement, every pulse, every breath of air, every puff of wind, every pulsation is the breath of God acting. God is everywhere. We have to remember God, to acknowledge God. God, thank you. We wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't have the breath. We wouldn't have the brain. We wouldn't have the soul. We would have this lifeless body. When someone dies, you go to a funeral, you see that lifeless body? Yeah. That's because their soul, their God aspect, their I am presence, soul, emotion, it's not there anymore. It's here. Yeah, it's in the quantum. It's everywhere. And it's wherever, it could go, possibly for greater teaching, sure. But it's not in there. So we acknowledge, thank God for this. Thank God for the power. Thank God for the light. God, thank for the love, wisdom, and power to guide me. Yoga, it says uniting, means uniting. But they say when you really do yoga correctly, you're actually moving the limbs from the inside out. You're moving them from your consciousness. Your beingness is moving the body when you're stretching. You're letting your consciousness do it. Your body is just a part of who we are. Because we're consciousness, we're emotional body, we're mental body, we're etheric body. We're all these aspects. And then that's in the physical frame. And then outside of that is causal, monadic, cosmic, galactic, all that is, source. I experience them all, guys. I experience them all. I don't know when it started, and we're all to experience all of them. Not just astral travel, not just, dreams, lucid dreaming. I don't really do that. I just do what I know what I know. We all have different tools. We have different gifts. We have different techniques. We could do any of them we want if we want. But it's learning about them. How big we really are. If we're God consciousness, then if you think about it, in a way, we're as big as the cosmos. Hello? That part of us, could you imagine turning that on? The God, I am presence, spark in me, turns into a flame. That's what it does with the threefold flame, 9 foot around. But imagine if the spark God in you was turned on completely and utterly, you would be, and the body will evaporate and you become everything. Maybe that's what happens after death. I don't know, but it can be experienced now. That's what Christ taught when he did the resurrection, the transfiguration, and the ascension. You know, he transfigured. He took those apostles up on the mount, or maybe it was in a vision. I'm not even sure. I think it might have happened when he was in the tomb. I can't remember. And they all had a vision together. And I'm not sure. Sorry, but they looked at him and they couldn't even look at him. He was so light. He was so light filled. He was going through his transfiguration. He was becoming the light body. And they got the blessing. They got the initiation. They got the download inside them. So that his next stage was the ascension, where he walked out of the tomb 3 days later. Mary Magdalene was the first one to see him, the divine feminine. These guys, people, they saw him. He was in his physical body. You know, he didn't necessarily stay around, but he might went into the realm with the Son of Masters, all that consciousness, you know, that realm, which is, they say that it is real. They say we are as tangible as you guys are with each other. But you guys are down here doing it with each other. We're one octave up. We're doing it there. Once this whole thing synchronizes to 5D and we all go through this great thing, I don't know, solar flash, or if it's we all get there when this move happens, the new earth, into the new earth. He said we're all going to be visiting each other in the physical. We're going to be in the physical. Not this physical, not 3D, the 5D. Okay, you got to imagine. We're still in physical, but so much more is going to be happening. We're going to be interacting. These light cities and these great beings and all this. This is New Earth, guys. New Earth teachings. Maybe I'm a New Earth messenger. Who knows? So they were gifted with that ability. So when the apostles went out and taught, they had this power in them, this medicine in them, to share about this. You know, that went into the words, went into the Bible, went into to all the people that they touched, and that's how, you know, Christianity spread. But it wasn't Christianity then. You know, Jesus said I wasn't a Christian. Okay, you got it? I was a light being. I was a ascended being. Okay, and so that's what we're trying to teach you guys. He was the model for the last 2,000 years of the highest of all these teachings of being a good person and all that. The highest is reaching the resurrection, transfiguration, and ascension. Guess what we're going through now, guys? Guess what we're going through? Those three things. Resurrection, transfiguration, and ascension. Come on, you got to stretch your minds. You got to stretch your minds. You got to believe that something like this is happening. Forget what they tell you and all these teachers on YouTube. And I'm not saying I know, but I'm saying if you study the Ascended Master teachings, we all know something's happening, massive. Wherever you find it, wherever you get it, you know. The Buddhists, they reach a state where they reach Buddhahood, which is the enlightenment, which is the oneness with everything, same as Christ, reaching his ascension and his transfiguration. So there's been thousands and thousands, tens and hundreds of thousands of people who have reached Buddhahood. Yes. And then they taught meditation and stuff the rest of their life, or they went on to so they say there's hundreds of thousands of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattva is a word that beings that reach enlightenment, reach the ascension, and they vowed to come back. Get this. These beings vowed to come back every single lifetime until every being was enlightened. That's a big commitment, right? Huge. That's what the Ascended Masters have done. 12,000 years. You don't think that they've had to have a lot of patience? You think it's waiting for the humanity to grow up? So I don't mean to go too deep. I don't mean to go too massive. But I believe it's here now, you know? I have a lot of teachers that are already, all they do is create. All they do is change things, the atmosphere. All they do is open things and transform things and open levels and to higher goodness coming in, you know, unlocking keys and unlocking blocks and helping people unlock their blocks within, in their mind and subconscious mind. You know, we all know it takes time. We have to do the inner work. We have to do the work. We have to face all the little dark spots in us, and there was still our left, you know, facing our ego, facing our shadow, and letting go of ego and becoming, you know, Ramana, Bhagwan Ramana, the great saint, and his students all say, Just go into the great silence. Spend as much time, every waking minute, an hour in the silence. And if you do it sufficiently long enough, meaning be the observer behind the projector, not in front of it. You're like the director of this whole thing, because we've created this whole game, we've created this whole dance. If we're master, if this is a matrix, well, we're great beings. Each of us have chose these lessons before we came here. If you're in that silence sufficiently long enough, even in your daily life, working, and meditating, all the things, cooking dinner, you can be a witness. You're like, wow, I'm noticing myself cutting the vegetables. I'm noting myself watching my breathing. I'm noticing myself talking to my relatives, kids. I'm noticing myself getting upset at the kids. I'm noticing, I'm watching. That's the silence. If you're sufficiently a witness, you do it sufficiently long enough till it becomes automatic. Okay? You're changing the neural pathways in the brain. You're changing it to the higher 5D dimensional. They call it the higher mind. Ground chakra, higher mind, the higher mental body. It's not really mental, but it's the mental that sees reality the way we see it. They say the spectrum of what we know and what we see in this world is like whatever 0.001 or something. It's like this compared to, as far as I could see that way, or as far as I could see that way, it's like this much is what we really see compared to. You think about the smells that animals can smell, things they can hear that we can't hear. The bacteria in the air, the bacteria and stuff that you can only see with a microscope, or the frequencies in the air and the levels and the vibrations. Your guides, who can see their guides, the helpers that are around us, the guardian angels, God consciousness. It's just, that's where faith comes in. We walk by faith and not sight. So, in meditation, they say, a lot of them say, retract the senses, retract the eyes, the hearing, the sight, the smell, the taste, the thought. Retract it in, go into the silence. It's not a static silence, it's a dynamic silence. It's the all that is. It's the any reality you need. It's any knowledge you need. It will come to you instantly. It's the higher self. It's I am presence. Boom 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 one. I am that consciousness. I am one. I am free. I am love. I am peace. I am visions. I am one with all levels. I am one grounded with the Mother Earth. I am one with my brothers and sisters, all living creatures. I am one with peace and health and financial stability and deep rest, deep sleep, deep faith, deep knowing, deep silence, deep interest, deep passion to know my God, I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Deity of your choice. Deity of your choice. Ascended Master Saint Germain, Metatron, Christ, Buddha, Krishna, Shiva, Muhammad, Rama, Divine Mother, Amma, Kali Ma, Durga, Parvati, hey ha ha ha, 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 hey. Na 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 Kuan Yin, do, Sekhmet, Isis, White Buffalo Woman, Virgin of Guadalupe, Water Woman, Rainbow Woman, Changing Woman, hey ha ha na Tenkashila, Waka Tonka, Heya, Makatakia, Mother Earth, Makatakia, Mother Earth, Waka Tonka, Great Mystery, Mother Goddess Pele, Nani, healing for the islands, Maui, and all of them. Hey, peace in the winds, peace in the weather, peace in the minds that try to control. Hey, weather modification. Hey, peace on earth, natural ways. We command it, we demand it, we ask for it. We decree it. Calm weather's on Mother Earth as she changes. She's doing her best not to hurt us. Hey ha, hey ha, hey ha 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 ha. But as we band together in light, everything gets calmer. Hey ha ha, hey ha 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 ha. As we do put light out, we transform the pockets of density and darknesses that cause storms. Also, hey ha ha, hey 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 ha ha ho, hey hey ha ha ho, hey oh hey oh oh da 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 Love your neighbors as yourself. Love your enemies. It drives them crazy. Don't kill them with kindness. Heal them with kindness. Heal them with kindness. They need more love than anybody. The dark wounded ones. Hurt people. We know that. Help them have the courage to find God again. Help them find the courage to let go of their pain, look at their past, let that stuff come up, gradually heal. Hey ha ha, hey ha ha, hey ha ha. We have compassion. Hey ha ha, hey ha ha, hey ha ha, hey ha ha. Some form of empathy, but we don't have sympathy. We don't take it on. We don't get involved in people's karma because what you put out comes back. Cause and effect. Do unto others what you want done unto you. Hey ha ha, hey ha ha. So they all of us have to pay. We have to make up for what we, just by being good and praying and transforming and asking, calling Allah forgiveness, violet fire, consume and transmute, cause, core, record, effect, and memory. I'll tell you one story. It's from it's not one of mine, but it just comes to me to say is that Saint Germain in one of his books teachings, I listen to videos, and he was saying that any discord you have with anyone, any relative, you know that you've probably got history with them, past life, something there, right? Karmic partners, karmic false twins, or ex-husbands and all that. They say no matter what it is, even in minute things, you have an argument with somebody in the store, they say, Saint Germain says that it's one of your many, many embodiments, maybe 1,000 lifetimes. You did that to someone else. And this is the lifetime where you have the opportunity to clean it up. I know that's a big pill to swallow, but as they say, it's better to eat crow while it's still warm. The colder it gets, the harder it is to swallow. Eating crow is realizing, hey, sure, we all made this mess. We've all been everything. We've all been good, bad, and ugly, and in between. And so maybe that's true. And so what he says is that no matter what it is, just send violet fire to it. Violet fire, violet fire. And you can clean up every incident just like that. I watch things all day long. I watch road rage stop. I watch, people give me a dirty look in the store, and I give them the violet fire with love in my heart, and send out waves of the all-consuming violet fire, love in action. Next thing you know, I turn around, they're smiling at me. It's like, wow. So he said that he had this vision one time in one of his lifetimes. He said that he saw a farmer walking through a field. The storm clouds were above him, and he's trudging. He felt like he had 100 pounds on his back. He was trudging towards the farmhouse. And he just said, if anything I can do, or anything that has anything to do with me, I ask prayer of forgiveness for this man. Anything it might have been having to do with me. This is when he was learning about all this stuff. There's many incarnations he studied this stuff like we are. And then he just let it all go. And then all of a sudden he had this flash, and he saw the man. The man was virtually skipping. The sun was out. He's skipping to the house, and he looked so much lighter. It was like bounding towards the house. And he knew right then and there that his prayer had made all the difference for that man. That he had cleared the karma between himself and that man, what that man was carrying, or whether it had to do with him or not. But he felt it did in this case. That's when he learned. Hit him like a ton of bricks. If you practice that in your daily lives, you could watch these things happen. I don't mean to overwhelm you guys. I know I'm deep. I know I'm full of light. And I'm just being a mouthpiece. I don't do them unless I'm guided. I was outside sitting there after I got home a long day, and I was like, make a video right now. Because I felt this density. I felt this major compression in the air. I felt this density. The thunder was rolling, but I felt this barometric pressure, and I felt something's going on. And I have to send some of these messages. So if you can hear any of this, you get all the way through it. Kudos, much love. I'll try to make them shorter somehow, guys. It just feels like if I do those talks or I do those 2-minute reels, it's like I'm supposed to sum all this up in 2 minutes, guys? It's not easy. I don't know how to do that. 2 minutes. So much for our attention spans. What to say, 5 minutes on YouTube? 5 minutes attention span? I don't know. I guess I got to learn to do a little bit of it. So, much love to everyone, and to God, the universe, myself, all beings.